Hello, Internet Magic Man here from MMOBomb.com, bringing you another first look video. This time it's for Darwin Project, the free-to-play Battle Royale-esque game published and developed by Scavenger Studios. Now, this game is available on Steam, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. However, it is not, at this time, cross-platform. So if you play on the PS4, you'll be playing with other PS4 players. If you're on PC, you'll be playing with PC players, etc. Now, that may change in the future, of course, because all things can change, but for the time being, that's the way it is. We're going to jump into a match here. We'll come back and take a look at the menus, daily challenges, what this connected to Twitch is, and how this all works. But let's give you the core concept of the game. When you first start, you'll be playing tutorials so that you can learn your controls. We'll cover those in the match. Then you'll get the chance to practice versus AI. Beat the easy AI, you'll unlock the medium. Beat the medium, and nothing happens. The hard difficulty AI is not available yet. Once you've got that down, you'll pretty much have the entirety of the game. Well, from a player's perspective, I should say. So let's take a look. Let's jump into a solo match here. It usually doesn't take too long to queue up. Matches in Darwin Project are 10-player affairs, where the object is to survive as long as possible, become the last person standing in an arena that has 7 different zones, each of which can close over time throughout the match, thus working everybody into some singular arena that will then also shrink as time goes by. Now, I'm going to pick a class and pick 2 abilities. Forgive me, users that are in the match here. I'm going to mute you all for the sake of the first look video and mute myself so that they don't see me or hear me commentating here. I'm going to customize and change my trap a little bit. I like the smoke bomb. We'll get into that in a bit because this was in early access for about, like a year or two. It was a really long time. And finally has released. Now, even if you've played this as recently as like December, you will notice that there is a lot that's different just from a month ago. So pretty substantial changes were made as the game was coming out of the beta testing phase. So, as you can see in the lower left-hand corner, we've got our map. It's got our 7 segmented areas. The dots in each area indicate portals. So if I continue to run in the direction that I'm running, jump into the portal there, I will come out at the dot that's on the exact opposite side of the map. So nice way to get out of places if you happen to be too deep into a zone. WASD movement, spacebar is your jump, control is a little dodge roll. Shift, as you can see in the bottom center, is your class's ability. Sometimes you'll run into huts that have a little map like this. So there is one person kind of near me on the border of those 2 zones, and everybody else is pretty far apart. Left mouse controls my axe. Right mouse controls your bow and arrow, which you get your bow by default, but if you look, I don't have any arrows. In the lower right-hand corner, just to the left of the MMOBomb watermark, you can see I don't have any arrows. Above those, you can see that there are 2 main resources you'll be gathering, and this is different from the beta versions of the game. The kind of test tubey thing there is Darwinium, and the trees are wood. Wood is used to craft a number of items, including making a fire so that I don't freeze to death, the blue meter on the left-hand side of the screen, on the right-hand side of the mini-map itself, and I can create arrows with that as well. Darwinium and wood are used to craft various items. Snowballs I can just create right here, which I can throw to slow people down, slightly freeze them. Shield absorbs my next attack, takes 5 wood to do. Can make a fire to warm myself up. Can craft some arrows, can make whatever trap item I've selected. The bottom half of my crafting circle, which this circle is opened by holding R on the PC, are my 2 main class abilities that you saw me choose in the lobby. I've chosen invisibility and radar, being the hunter type class. And then I can gear upgrade 3 different pieces of gear. Again, in this class, it's all focused on tracking, so these improvements will give me speed and increased damage and things. Whoa! When I am tracking a target, which we'll get more into in a second here. That guy kind of came out of nowhere. I don't have arrows, so we're going to have to make this a melee affair. Oh, we both collided there. So really, we're just kind of walking around swinging our axes right now. Did I get him there? I think I got him there. Yes, I did. Oh, there's another one. All right, so now we've got a little battle going. I'm going to send my hawk to track if I can get a bead on him. That hawk being my kind of hunter-esque ability.
Northwest zone is now forbidden. 6 zones remaining.
Life on the lower left-hand side, I kind of got wrecked there. Get snuck up on. You can see my life on the left-hand side of the mini-map was, depleted down to 0. Let's go over the interface here before we queue up for another match real quick. That way we have a full capability of all of the items. In the lower right-hand corner next to the arrows, you can pick up items like you're seeing effective combat set up here. Certain traps, tripwires, bear traps, cage traps, things like that. Each class that you choose from of the 3 also has its key abilities in the bottom center of the screen. Mine were invisibility and radar, but the other 2 classes have different abilities, things like shields that will protect them for a period of time. Launching a bubble that forces anybody inside it to be stuck inside it, and anybody outside it can't enter it. So you will play around with what class you like the best. And I will say, for those of you that have played Darwin Project, even as recently as December, just a month ago, these classes are a new thing. You have your jet wings, your grapple gauntlet, and your headhunter drone. Those are the items that indicate what class you are. I was running with the headhunter drone, which I can send to fetch items for me. I can track people with it, attack wildlife that we find on the map to gather resources. The grapple gauntlet, really good at closing distances between 2 people. Also, you get to zip around, up onto cranes and things, so you open up the elevation of the map. Jet wings kind of does the same things. You have air maneuverability around the map. Now, this is new, because in the previous iterations of the game, while there were templates for classes, they were exactly that. They were kind of just templates where they gave you abilities, and you could swap any of those abilities out that you wanted to. You saw in the lobby, and we'll go back in, that I could only really switch my trap item. Everything else was indicative of what my class was. And you could also create a custom template, so if you really liked an odd mix of abilities, you could go ahead and do that. Now you can't really anymore. You choose a class and you choose one of 2 abilities. The 3rd ability on your screen right now, Turret, doesn't unlock until you get level 3 for a class. And you can see that the 4th ability for my hunter doesn't unlock until level 10. I am level 5 right now. I'm going to pick Invisibility and Radar again. Those are kind of my favorites. I'm going to hold R to go to the upgrade menu. I don't really like the bear trap as a hunter. I like the smoke bomb, which cancels tracking. What is tracking? Well, on the map, and we need to...
Damn, bro, cover your mouth.
We need to go ahead and mute everybody again. Damn, bro, I will cover my mouth, although I think he was talking to the person coughing. As you're playing the game here, you will be building fires. You will have a little workbench when you squat down to, let's say, upgrade gear or open one of your abilities with Darwinium. Those items stay on the map. Even cutting down a tree stays on the map, and somebody else can investigate it when they get to it. So what I'm doing right here, boom. That stump is now available for somebody else to come and inspect. If they do, it will show them on their map, and if I'm close enough, on their screen, who hacked that down, where they are, and how far away they are. It'll even give them a little red outline for a period of time. As a hunter, upgrading some of my gear extends the amount of time that I'll get to see that, so some increases to hunting type abilities, tracking type abilities, staying consistent with the class. That happens with almost everything you interact with on the map. So a nice way to kind of hone in on some of your opponents. Now, what I think is funny in comparing this to just playing this, a mere month ago, is they've switched to Darwinium. It didn't used to be Darwinium. There used to be 3 resources. You would gather wood, you would gather leather, and you would gather electronics. And electronics were the things you used to upgrade your abilities. You would use both wood and leather to upgrade gear, including your axe and your bow and arrow, which you no longer really do. So leather was removed, and now we have Darwinium, this oddball resource. Notice in the upper left-hand corner of the mini-map, a Darwinium node just appeared. Those appear randomly or can be forced by the director, which we'll get into in a few moments. Those, if you manage to make it to it and loot it, you will receive 75 Darwinium. Or is it 150? I don't remember. I think it's 150 because it automatically gives you the ability to create one of your class's abilities. Now I'm closing in on that. I'm a little bit cold. I have 4 wood. I'd like to get up to 6 wood as fast as possible. That way I can create a shield and create a campfire. And then I start focusing on arrows and things like that. So we're going to go get that. I don't have an arrow, so I'm going to have to send my... If I want to take this wildlife out... I'm going to need... There we go. Send my pet. Let's see. Do we get anything decent there? Healing. Okay. I have 5 wood. Like to find one more little tree here. And then we'll warm up by a campfire. Ah, there's what I'm talking about. So somebody used that. So let's take a peek. And now we're tracking Uzbek Revenge, who is about 300 meters in that direction, and I'll get to see that for 3 more seconds, so quite a bit of distance. Now, on their screen, it did just pop up that they were being tracked, so they know somebody has found something that they've interacted with, and they are potentially exposed. Now, I'm not going to go after them. They're 300-some meters away, and it's more important that I don't freeze to death here, which is what snowballs are good for, by the way, helping make somebody slow and cold. So we're going to have to go ahead and make a campfire without having found the 6th piece of wood that I would have liked to. But we'll go ahead and, while we're at the campfire warming up, make some arrows. One more. There we go. And we're all warmed up. We're in a zone that's good. We're open. This guy's not coming back, is he? Let's take a peek. Nope, moving further away. All right, so we're good. We can continue to scavenge and try and find more materials. There's some wood. We've got some Darwinium over here. 135. One more Darwinium node. We'll be able to either unlock our invisibility or our radar, whichever we prefer. There's one. I'm going to get invisibility first, I think. Then you'll notice in the bottom center of the map, Q opens up now as an ability for me to use invisibility. Those abilities, once you build them once, they're on cooldowns, so you don't have to build them a second time. And I'm actually going to make a beeline and try and get that node. I'd like to pull up my radar. The radar, I think, is a little unfair sometimes for the hunter class. Oh, there's a treasure chest, too. A little unfair because it can reveal a lot of information about where everybody is on the map. I'll build it here and we'll go ahead and use it right away just so you can see what I'm talking about, since we don't seem to be under duress getting that node. I do want to grab this treasure chest first. All right, so my zone, we may not build anything right now. My zone is is closing. I've got a minute to get out of here. Just picked up a cage trap. So I'm going to start heading east to try and slide out of this zone. Now, once the zone is closed, you still can come back into it. But just like other battle royales, you'll take damage. So it doesn't mean that, like, walls go up. If you need to duck into any of these closed zones, you can, but you're going to take damage while you do it. So let's try and get out of here. We got 23 seconds. Should be fine. No fall damage, so I don't have to worry about that. But if you do fall from very high heights, then you will be, like, stunned for a second or two as you get up, thus giving anybody else on the match a little bit of a an advantage if they stumble on you. Let's go ahead and use the radar. We've got 5 players remaining. You can see that in the right above the mini-map. So I just got all kinds of information about where everybody was. If you're not a hunter, you can look for houses that have these kind of satellite dishes on them because they'll have these maps that you can kind of peek at. Man, every zone I go into comes under duress. Now, these are all closing based on timers. There's another factor, and we'll talk about after we get to the menus after this match. There's another factor to take into consideration, and that's the director. Now, we don't have a director for this match, so we don't have to worry about any additional fields closing or anything like that. But in most matches, that is something you will have to consider. Working our way out of here. I have enough wood that I gotta make a fire so that I don't freeze to death here. Try to make your fires and your crafting stations and everything out of the way so that people aren't directly, you know, easy to find. Ooh, can I get? Yeah, let's go have you get that. That way I can craft a shield. Come on, bring it back. There we go. Now I can craft a shield so the next attack I take, the first attack I should say, is absorbed and I won't take any damage. All right. Back at full not freezing my ass off. Let's get some more wood. I really want... Oh my... Damn, I just keep chaining one to the next to the next. Oh, that sucks because there's a lot of wood over here too. Let's see. Can I get you to take... Here, go. Go get that one. I'll get this one. I'll get this one. Those of you that played in previous betas also have probably recognized that, yeah, the chopping of wood only... Oh, shit. Where'd that come from? Oh, wow. There they are. Let's go invisible. He had a shield, too. Headshot. I had a feeling you were going to be coming up from the left. Let's hit that little node and jump away. We're both... I'm going to die in here. I am stuck dead middle in a forbidden zone. Oh, and I'm freezing to death. Oh, my God. No. Run. I didn't happen to pick up a first aid kit or anything along the way. Oh, rough. Hey, Vin got killed too. All right. All right, so we made it to top 4 there. We get some experience, which in this game is registered as fans, because that's the big concept of the game. It's supposed to be a show, right? Like a kind of a Hunger Games type thing going on, and it's presented that way, very tongue-in-cheek. Once you get to level 5 on a particular class, any given class, you will unlock this tab called the Director Deck. We'll cover that in just a second. First, let's go through some of the monetization and the way the game works and how you'll progress. Yes, there is a level 1 up here. I think that's a holdover from the old version of the game where you leveled up as a profile. Now you level up as individual classes by playing those classes. Get one of them to 5, you'll unlock the Director's Deck. The way the game is monetized is strictly, right now at least, through cosmetics. Changing every single cosmetic skin that you have for every single gear slot through the purchase of ramen, which is their in-game currency. Now, I have a few special ones because I bought like a starter pack for $15 or so. Full disclosure, that was not provided to us. I paid the $15 to them to go ahead and do that. And it gave me some ramen and some fan gifts. You'll get a fan gift every time you level. It's a random loot box. As of right now, you cannot buy these loot boxes, though, with the exception of some of them coming in the initial starter pack, which you can only buy once. So we get some random cosmetics that way. And we can take a look at the shop and purchase individual cosmetics using the ramen. As far as how much does it cost, it's basically a penny a point. 200 ramen for $2. You get a discount as you go up and buy in bulk. So when you're looking in the shop and you see something like this Dark Dragon Legendary 5-part set at 1900 ramen, that's about 19 USD. If you bought in bulk, you'd get the ramen in bulk. You'd get a little bit of a discount. But again, no ability to purchase those fan gifts, those random loot boxes, with the exception of the starter pack, a one-time purchase that you can partake in. You can play male or female characters, and the cosmetic gear is actually gender specific. So when we open those fan gifts, it will tell you whether it's a male shirt, a female set of legs, or whatever. So it is gender specific. It doesn't unlock that shirt on both genders. How do you gain levels? Well, obviously through killing people and playing, but you can also complete daily challenges. You can see my progress on some of them, dealing damage with the bow. I'm at 350 out of 1,000 expected. Pick up opponent arrows. I've grabbed 5, since you can pick up their arrows after they drop. Kill opponents using the Headhunter drone. Well, you've seen 2 matches that I've played today, and I haven't killed anybody. I froze to death, and the other one kind of got ambushed and taken advantage of there. You do also, this one's hard to see, but you do get a bonus experience for your first match of the day, regardless of place, and your first top 3 of the day, which we almost did on that last match. Just missed it. You once per day can replace a quest. So let's say I don't like playing the Headhunter drone. Maybe I like playing the grappling class. I can go ahead and click replace that, and now I got deal damage with the axe. Notice that all of the recycle arrows have gone off. You can do it on 1 quest per day, not 1 quest slot per day. The last thing we want to talk about is another big kind of unique feature. Like everything you've seen so far has been pretty standard in the Fortnite, in the general battle royale world that we live in. But one of the things that Darwin Project does a bit different is that whole idea of it being a show, a very tongue-in-cheek Hunger Games thing, and that's where the director deck comes in. Once you reach level 5 on any particular class, you'll get access to the director deck. Now right now, these are the cards that I have in the director deck, and I've equipped them all. There are additional slots for cards, so that leads me to believe that we will see additional cards, but this is all that's available right now. All of these give me the ability to be the director of the show. So in addition to 10 people queuing up for a match, 1 director can also be thrown into that match. The director, think of it like a shoutcaster, right? They will have control of a camera. They can zip around. They can jump between spectating all the different players. But in addition to that type of shoutcasting presentation, they can actually control things on the map. I can use these cards to give a certain player 3 wood. I can use these to close additional zones in addition to the zones that are shutting down as the timer ticks down in the match itself. I do this through the spending of action points, which are just generated over time in the actual match. So I don't have to do anything. I just wait. It's what stops you from popping all of these at the beginning of the match or something like that. I do have some additional things I can do as the director, so let's go ahead and queue up as the director to show you that view. So we'll go to play, we'll queue up as the director, and again, there are quite a few people playing, so we shouldn't have too, there we go, shouldn't have too long to wait. In the lower right-hand corner of the home screen, I've mentioned twice already the signed into Twitch as Magic Man. You can... Oh. Let's go ahead and mute everybody. You can go ahead and link the Darwin Project files, the game, to your Twitch account so that you can stream this. But in addition, it does a little bit, something a little bit nifty. So my controls are as the director, WASD to move the camera forward, backward, side to side. To move it up and down to change the elevation, you aim the camera in the direction you want to go. So by panning the camera down and pressing W, it starts to go down and forward. I can use my left mouse and right mouse buttons, as you can see, looking at the top of the screen to cycle through spectating each of the players. Over on the left, you see R, which if I hold down R, it gives me the ability to emote and it gives me a proximity for it as well. Pressing spacebar, I can do this emote for just who I'm spectating or in that area, or I can go ahead and do it for everyone, and they'll see it on their screen. The left shift ability are my cards, which I'll be able to play in the match. Twitch integration changes one thing about the way you do the cards. There's an extension you'll have to install on Twitch to do this. So holding left shift, I get the ability to use my cards, which I've got to wait a little bit because I don't have resources. You see them gaining in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. 2 out of 10, and the third one is kind of filling up. So for just a moment, we just have to spectate. Although, as a host, it does give me, as a director, it does give me more information on the map than the players are seeing. Obviously, the mini-map is showing me numbers, so not only do I know where all people are at the time, by looking at the numbers in the mini-map and the numbers at the top of the screen, I can comment on exactly who I'm looking at. I know where, let's say, I know where Kira is just by looking at the map to see where the 3 is. Let's spectate. Let's go ahead and unlock our camera just by using W. Can go ahead and emote. G does give me the ability to do a like a megaphone. It will announce I can talk to everybody for a period of time. Notice that when I do things like that, they are on cooldowns over there. Now, for some reason, there we go. There's my cards. All right. So I can hold down left shift and decide what I want to do. Let's say maybe I want to close a zone. By left-clicking this and holding it, I can now drag it to whatever zone I want to close down. However, because I'm integrated with Twitch, I could also drop it over here, and spectators let them decide. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm not live streaming on my channel. But if I were, that would then, with the help of the extension, give my viewers on Twitch the ability to vote on where I should put that. If it's an ability like this one, to give some character 3 wood, it would give them the ability to vote on which character I should give that to. So as the director, you have the opportunity to make things fun, exciting, entertaining. Obviously, if you have that bent and you want to talk through the mic and you know, make up storylines for all these Hunger Games participants, you can also just make life hell on them by doing anything you can to make life harder. Now, it seems like our buddy here is out of wood, so we will go ahead and we will be benevolent and drop some wood. Now, I am going to unmute the players. I'm going to keep myself muted, though, only because of the first look video that we're recording. That way, if our players talk to us, we will hear them. Give them a little rim shot there. Moving the camera around. Let's kind of zoom out of this battle a little bit so we can see the entire thing. They're sizing each other up. Lots of arrows everywhere. What do we've got? We've got 2 people down. And am I in a tree? Oh, no. Somebody used a smoke bomb. So now we've got to go in and spectate on them. We're going to be looking at smog and smoke for the entire rest of the match. But this is the director side of things. So you've got 2 different options. Now, I will tell you, I think the last time I did this, I got 4,000 experience. So it's quite a bit of experience to be the director. That is basically the equivalent of completing as a player, completing your first match of the day or your top 3 first time of the day to get that daily bonus, plus getting a kill or 2 in the actual match itself that you got that bonus from. That's the equivalent. So it's quite a bit of experience. We're gonna help somebody out here. Oh, never mind. He made a fire, but things still aren't good. So we're gonna help out here because he's gonna worry about being frozen. Doesn't matter. He's dead. So you do get quite a bit of experience for being the director, and that kind of makes sense to me because it is, I'm sitting here watching. Yes, I can interact and do a couple of things, but I'm going to basically watch this entire match. I think it's a totally different experience if I'm kind of shoutcasting this on Twitch. Then I think there's a whole lot of fun to be had as the director. If you're just playing the game, you probably aren't going to play as the director match after match after match, unless that's just really your thing, because there's not a whole lot behind it besides what you see going on here, deciding what you want to do and when you want to do it. Let's go ahead and nuke this zone. So in whatever, I think it says 40 seconds under all those people, that zone is going to be the subject of a nuclear strike that will start in the center of the zone, work its way out. It won't close the zone, but it will kill anybody that wave hits as it goes through, or substantially almost kill them. But it won't close that zone. They'll be able to go back in after the nuclear explosion has finished. Kira looks to be doing pretty good. Let's cycle through and see. Green Elixir. Draven has a fun microphone.
Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, let's watch somebody. This is.
Fuck! No, to the nuke. Look, I almost didn't escape it. I hope he survived. But then again, I don't.
Didn't like that nuke. Almost got him.
We just had, like, a truce and it was... No, it was respectful.
And now that zone actually has an area closing on it, too. So back-to-back events just by blind luck there. We still have quite a few players, so we need to spice this up. We need to get this moving. So they all seem to be towards the middle, so I'm going to start closing the edges, too. Oh, that is not what I meant to do.
Fuck.
I totally thought that I dragged the wrong card. We're going to close that, get 6 out of there. I like how the voiceover still says that I dropped an electronic, even though it's Darwinium now. Some of the old placeholders are still there from the previous beta. Got a little arrow match going on here. Rock Hill against Draven. Oh, Rock Hill found a first aid kit. Those are found on the map either through killing through chests or killing wildlife. Sometimes they'll have those on them. Because the wildlife, by the way, for those of you animal lovers, they are robotic. If you mouse over them, it says they're robotic, so don't worry about that. Draven not happy about what's going on. Or Rock Hill, sorry. Yeah, Rock Hill and Draven. 6 has got to get out of there. Let's see what's going on with number 6.
Fuck.
This is our boy again. This is our boy who almost didn't make it away from the nuke. Now he's freezing to death in a forbidden zone, taking damage, running to the border, running right into 2 other players. This could be very, very bad. Does have a first aid kit, but
time to make my fucking arrow.
And does have wood, but needs to make a fire. Oh, ran right into some players. Got him. That was very, very upsetting. I am sorry if you happen to watch this video. That was not done intentionally to you. I just forcing everybody in the middle. Found a first aid kit. Tons of player arrows. You can finish that daily quest if they happen to have that. All right, what cards do we have left? I think we just have some good cards here. Let's give somebody 3 wood, and we can warm somebody up. Quantum Intellect, you are about to inherit some wood. Did I already give? I think I already gave Quantum Intellect wood. Let's see. Yeah, but Quantum Intellect has the fewest. Let's give some wood to Rock Hill. Because this just sounds great when let's give some players wood. Which means we got to help somebody else out. So who's the coldest? Green Elixir is the coldest, and that's the last item I have left. So we'll warm you up. Oh, here we go. Rock Hill, Quantum Intellect, at it, right in the center of the map. 2 players left. Rock Hill and Green Elixir both look in good health. Pretty damn good health, actually. Rock Hill has substantially more upgrades on their gear. You can see it just above the MMOBomb logo in the lower right. They have upgraded one of their pieces of gear, now 2 of them, fully, and 1 is level 2 of 3. So they're getting all the class bonuses that they have for their particular class. I find it interesting that Rock Hill has not spent and gotten unlocked the shield abilities. That's interesting. Looking at the center of the screen, certainly using the grappling enough, but just popped a glider there that they must have found on the map. Has not activated their lock-in dome that forces, a Thunderdome fight. There we go. I mean, they have plenty of Darwinium to get both of those. But it looks like Rock Hill's not going to make the shield. Rock Hill's decided going to close in on their opponent and maybe pop their bubble and force a fight in a confined area. Both Rock Hill and Green Elixir closing in on each other. I don't think either of them knows it yet.
Center zone is now forbidden.
Now they certainly do, as they only have 1 zone left. Now, in a little bit here, this zone will start to collapse on itself from the outside in. It'll create a small...
Can, I get some wood?
No, you can't get some wood. I got none left. So we'll go ahead and give a... What should we give? Awkward. Players can't tell, by the way, that they are being the one spectated on. Their screen is the live screen. Once this zone closes down to a small space in the middle, it will start to move around, too. So it is kind of forcing the final fight. Even if it's in an area, the center area happens to be somewhere where there's a lot of hiding spaces, things like that, the zone will just start to move around slowly inside this zone that is closing. It'll just migrate. So we'll never close all the way to the center, but it will make things substantially challenging. In a tight space, you gotta fight, and that tight space is slowly moving, up, down, left, and right. Switch over to Rock Hill. Rock Hill kind of closing in on Green Elixir. Green Elixir doesn't know it. Doesn't seem to know it, at least. Oh, now they do. Here we go. The final battle between Rock Hill and Green Elixir. Green Elixir walking through the deep snow makes you slower and colder. Lights a fire, and gets a little bit of a help. But Rock Hill, no surprise there. Rock Hill takes the victory with the fully upgraded gear and everything. Congrats, Rock Hill, if you happen to watch this. Thumbs up. Nice battle. See, 3,890 fans. That's a lot of experience. But, I basically sat here and did a few things. That was it. So, in my estimation, I actually kind of like what Scavenger Studios is doing here. It's very fun. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It's small. It's quick. I don't mind their monetization. They're going strictly after the cosmetics. I hope it stays that way and that you can't buy fan gifts separately from that starter pack, of course. If you want to check it out, it is free to play on Steam, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, available now. Remember, no crossplay at this time. You'll be playing on the platform with other players that are playing on the same platform you are for now. But until next time, gang, this is Magic Man from MMOBomb.com saying stay safe, and we'll see you out on the servers.